going on, everybody? Special Handhelds 24. Just making a little video regarding some games that will not work and workarounds to them. So, for instance, we're going to start with this one right here. I'm going to start it up, and this is the Sudachi emulator. So far I've been having the most luck with this one, but what I want to show off is, it starts off strong. And so basically all this works just fine, right? But once we go through the intro and the plane crashes, the guy does his little speech right now, you'll see how difficult this port of this game to the Switch version is to run on Sudachi. The same goes for Citron too. I mean, like right now we're getting unbelievable frame rates for an Xbox 360 game, more or less. But again, it's just a cutscene. But what's great about this is that since it's so high, it speeds up the intro. Watch, like this intro takes forever, but since we're going at 118 frames, it goes pretty quick. But even with this hack, and even with the Portal Sudachi Citron, this game still lacks something. So here we go. First of all, it's graphical issues, and that's just more or less the driver that I'm using, I think, but I get better performance out of this one. But yeah, so right there, like, it looks like my screen is like inking, right? But it's just graphical issues. And then we get to the surface. Okay. Sometimes they go away, it's great. But like right here, right? Flickering, like, put everything on max, like, doesn't make any difference. Right, like I can't, like, this is unplayable. And I've looked for patches, this and that, until finally I caved and I was like, alright, if I can't emulate it on, one of the Switch emulators, right, I still want to play this game. So this is just an option, and this is just to show that there's other ways to get to playing a game. So we're gonna get out of here because that's not gonna happen. Trust me, I could even barely make it to the stairs. All right. So I also have the PC version, right? And this fork of Windlater Frost, not the GI or GLIBC. This is Windlater Frost, I think the latest version, 9 something. This is the one I was talking about. Well, that gives you better performance, but this one that's on top, this is just more or less dedicated to like HN2 chip series. And you have to go back and forth with each of them to see what games work better, but I tried this one first and I set up Bioshock, so check it out. It's gonna take a minute to load. It's not quite as fast, so I'm going to load it now, but I'll pause the video and then I'll pretty much unpause it basically once we get to like the very beginning, and you can see for yourself the difference. And the settings for this is just 720p. I didn't increase it to 1080 or anything like that, but it's gonna take a minute to load, so I'm gonna pause it right now and then we'll come back. Alright, so we're back. So this is the version I'm talking about. You can see most of the settings are up here. I chose this one just because it's the latest, the DKVK 2.5.3. I was using 2.5.2, I think, but this one seems to work just fine too. And then the turnip driver, you can see right there. There's my puppy. It's Aria. She's crazy. But right now, like, it says 60, right? But watch. it gets better. It still does take a minute to load, but I did play for about 5 minutes, and already I was like, oh man, I gotta show this off because here we go. Alright, so now it's like Xbox, I don't have to worry about it. New game. Just do that. So it's gonna start up pretty much the same way as the Switch version does, but you'll see the difference. And this is lower resolution, it's 720. I could put it to 1080p, but I wanted to see, you know, the FPS, if we could get 60. And long story short, we can. Alright, but again, I'm going to pause it because this thing takes, the game does take a while to load, so I'll be right back. Alright, here we go. See how it jumped? It's not like that for real though.
They told me, son, you're special. You were born to do great things. You know what? They were right.
I mean, I have been trying to play this game for a while, and now I found a way to play it. And I didn't want to play it on my Switch for 30 frames. Right now, with moving around, we're in the 90s. Oh, over 100. Now before, like I couldn't, like I can actually see the plane going down. 94, 96, 99, 97 frames per second. Like, this is ridiculous. And this entire time, I've all my videos, you see my list of games, like I've been trying to get that to work. Like, I should have just did win later. Usually there's a ton of graphical glitches right here. All the lighting works, nothing, everything works. So yeah, I'll just let it play. So the point is, when you guys get this device, or if you have it come in, you're excited about it, start tinkering or start learning how to use Winlater, because there's going to be a lot of workarounds to play games that can't be emulated through like Switch games. You're better off playing the actual PC version of it. The only thing is, I got the Max model because I needed the space, because that's exactly what I wanted to do. And it's a terabyte. Even with that terabyte, it's like I had to delete stuff because it's full, and I added a 512 SD card, but recommend to have your PC games on your, you know, internal storage, because they run better, not on your SD card. You can put your Switch games on here, that'll be just fine. But if if you want to emulate Windows games, like, you're gonna need a lot of space. Terabyte's pretty good, but still not enough. But look at this. Okay, I could never get this far. And we're doing like 90 frames a second. These are those settings again. Just try to remember. If you do have a switch, or if you do have a portal coming, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna try out some other Windows emulators. Still, I'm having problems with GameHub, but on GameHub I was able to get Steam OS working and access my Steam account. But the games I had on there, they just were not bootable on this. It was just too much. I don't have any like little baby games on Steam, because you know I have a Switch and I have like all my indie games there and on here and other devices. So I don't have like little Steam games other than Dead of Darkness, which is like a pixel game. I already showed that off, but I got this game off GOG. It's cheap, and it works just fine. Like, I don't need my Steam Deck to play this or a PC. I can play it on my Android handheld. And remember, it's a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, so it's not new. It's kind of old. It's just it has 120 Hz refresh rate screen, so you can push those frames. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And I just wanted to show this off because there's always another option to get around something that you want to play or emulate, especially with a Switch game. The PC ports versions, I shouldn't say ports, but the PC versions of the ports are much more playable through WinLater. Granted how old they are, but like, even I'm sure Borderlands would probably work a lot better on here versus this emulator. Maybe Borderlands 3 would work better on WinLater. That I would have to test out. But I'm going to see if I can get another Windows game before the night ends. Thank you so much for watching again. You guys have a great one. Take care.